afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Elder Elvis, and I will be with you here for the first half of our afternoon. So, welcome, everyone. So, how's everybody doing today? All right, it's, by the way, it's getting closer to spring. How do I know? And how do you know the days are actually getting longer? Have you guys noticed that? Like after 5 o'clock now, there's some light going down on a clear day, 5:30-ish. And even in the mornings now, you notice that it's getting lighter earlier. A couple of weeks ago, when I was taking my guys to school, it was dark. And I go, oh my goodness, I don't know if I could take this for much longer. But then last week I looked out and said, oh, light's coming. Great, awesome. Listen, we have a great lesson for you guys today, so hopefully you can chime in and even put some questions in the chat and they could relate to me and we can discuss it. So here's our topic for today. Not all Israel is Israel. And what do I mean by that? Well, that's easy. What do you guys think? Means if you're born in the land of Israel, you're Israel? Or what? You can go to, if you want to say a comment, you can go right up to the mic so everybody could hear you, not just us here, but also out there in Cyberland. So when you do have a question or comment, please freely go to the mic and voice it so we can all partake and so forth. So again, not all Israel is Israel. And when I say that, I really mean it actually. And we're going to try and let you know in the scriptures today what it is. But before we get there, let me start off by reading a Psalms to you guys. Psalms 98. Oh, sing unto the Lord a new song, for he hath done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm hath gotten him the victory. The Lord hath made known his salvation. His righteousness hath he openly shown in the sight of the heathen. He hath remembered his mercy and his truth toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all the earth. Make a loud noise and rejoice and sing praise. Sing unto the Lord with the harp and the voice of psalms, with a trumpet and the sound of cornet. Make a joyful noise. Before the Lord the King. Let the sea roar and let the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Let the floods clap their hands, let the hills be joyful together. Before the Lord, for he cometh to judge the earth. With righteousness shall he judge the world and the people with equity. Selah and Selah. All right, so as I said, our topic today is not all Israel is Israel. And I truly mean that. And we're going to get into some scriptures later and to let you know that just because you say, I'm an Israelite, you think you get the buy or the VIP card. No, that's not how it works. I'm trying to give you some clues today what it means. How do you get there and how do you stay there? Because again, when you get there, doesn't mean you just sit down and pull up your chair and put your feet up on the couch and relax. When you come into Israel, you have to do work for the God of Israel, actually. In other words, we say here, you got to work to keep your seat. If you don't keep your seat, you'll find yourself out the door. So make sure you understand what we're talking about. Let me jump into something quickly. Israel is not when we say in our King James Version, it's not a land. Okay, it's actually a man. The name of a man is actually Israel. So let's not get it confused to say that when we say Israel, we're talking the land of Israel in what they call the Middle East, although there's no such thing as the Middle East, just to get that information out. So Israel is a man, not a land. And by the way, from Israel, he had 12 sons, and Israel means also to be called out. So out of Jacob, the Jacobites, you get Israelites. And I'll give you some information on how to get there. So let's turn to just Genesis quickly. Genesis 35. I'm going to read it to you because Jacob was changed to Israel, his name actually. And by the way, don't go around changing your name. And he had a reason why he had to change his name. The God of Israel actually literally changed his name for him. So there's a lot of people these days that would say, I want to rename my myself, such and such and such. Because, you have Babylonian names, Egyptian names. Listen, Moses had an Egyptian name. When God called him, did he say, let me give you a new name? No, he says, Moses, come here. And he called him by Moses, that same Egyptian name that they named him. So why would you think to have it upon yourself to go change your name because you don't like it now that you found out that you're not an Egyptian or Babylon, you want to change it? Look, I still got an Egyptian name. I still got a Babylonian name. Besides, I like it because I get a lot of comments my way. I mean, Elvis, come on, people said, hey, where's your blue suede shoes? I said, hubba, I don't know. So, I get those kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool name, actually. But I don't let it get to me. I just know that it is an Egyptian name and I cannot change it. It is what it is. So you should stick with what you have and roll with it. You never know. You might get some good stuff that come along with that very same name. Moses did. Look what happened to him. Anyways, Genesis 35. I'm going to quickly read from 9 and 10 to tell you this is what happened. And God appeared unto Jacob again when he came out of Pandararam and blessed him. And God says unto him, thy name is Jacob, all right? Thy name shall not be called anymore Jacob, but Israel shall thy name called. And he called his name Israel. See? So it's not me telling you, no, it just tells you right here that he changed his name from Jacob to Israel. And he had 12 sons, and those 12 sons are Israelites. Okay, they're called Israelite, like the 12 tribes of Israel, if you want to put it that way. So and in our time, in our day, we have no clue if we're from one of those 12. We just know that we have to serve the God of Israel and you become an Israelite. And not just serve him, but you got to serve him in spirit and in truth. And if you don't, then you're not serving the God that I know or the God that my brethren here know. And by the way, welcome my guests. If this is your first time here, welcome to the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministry. Hopefully you can get some great substance out of what we're going to talk about today, which is not all Israel is Israel. All right. So are you guys ready? We're going to go on a little journey here. So follow me along and get there. All right. So we're going to get into some meat. Let's go to Numbers 16. Follow me along here, people. Numbers 16. And we're going to try and reflect on what's happening today and what happened, 5,000, 6,000 years ago. Nothing new under the sun. Chapter 16. Numbers 16, we'll start right from the very top. It says, now Korah, the son of Ishar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the son of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, the sons of Reuben, took men. So we got, from the 12 tribes, we got Reuben and Levi so far, the sons of Reuben and Levi. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. You guys know what it says, men of renown? These are the guys that carry weight. When they said, hey, let's go, everybody says, all right, we're going to follow that person. So 250 princes. Can you imagine that? There's 250. And these three guys, 2 from Reuben and 1 from Levi, says, guys, let's go. We got to go deal with Moses here. We got an issue. We got to go talk to Moses. So he gathered these 250 men and princes, renowned, not just any mediocre person, but people that actually have clout. And he says, all right, so let's go. Verse 3. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and says unto them, ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift you up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. Oh my goodness, can you imagine this? Yeah. So Moses, as you know, is also from the tribe of Levi. And He was the one that was talking to God and communicating and bringing down the message to the people when they bawled out saying, oh, the Egyptians, there's too much work, they're lashing us, they enslaved us, and all these things. And Moses was sent to Egypt to deliver God's people, the Israelites, out of the hand of Pharaoh. And here they are in the desert and past the Red Sea, and you got Dathan and Korah and Abiram gathering people of the congregation to say, hey, we got to go talk to Moses about something here. Moses has no clue what's going on, by the way, at this point in time. Okay? Let's carry on. And when Moses heard it, he fell on his face. He said, Moses must have said, oh gosh, what are these people doing? Like, I'm taking you guys out from the land of Egypt and we're going to go into the land of milk and honey, and you're coming up against me and Aaron for what? Because by the way, these guys are part of the priesthood also. So they can come to talk to Moses, not like the regular congregation. So again, renowned people, princes that says, hey, we got to go deal with Moses on some issue. And Moses has no clue, but they want to go talk to Moses, saying, Moses, you're taking too much. By the way, Moses was administering to the tabernacle of God. That means the Holy of Holies and all these holy things that he has to do. Moses has to go up there and talk to God. God talks to Moses and bring the message down to the people, the in-betweener. Because it can't be just anybody going to go talk to God. As where people said, last night, God came and talked to me. Like, listen. Thank you, Corinne. Which God? Okay, which God came down and talked to you? Because I know that for us to get to talk to God, we're not even at that caliber. Because there was a scripture that says Moses, that he talked to Moses saying, hey, listen, I'm coming down to talk to my people in 3 days. And in 3 days, you got to sanctify yourself. That means you have to clean up yourself, shower clean, no stuff between you and man and woman, no cuts. Like, you got to be sanctified for 3 days. And when he was coming down, there was thundering and lightning and loud noise. And as he's getting close, it's getting louder and louder. So if all that noise and rumbling and earthquakes and mountain volcanoes, all these things happening, you tell me you spoke to God last night? So your next door neighbor didn't hear anything in their sleep? Really? Okay, so you got to understand when they say you're talking to God, it's definitely the God of Israel, because you're not even in our congregation, so I don't know how you got there if you're not even part of the congregation of God, actually. God of Israel, by the way. And by the way, we're dealing with the King James Version, the Bible that I'm reading out of, so I'm hoping that you also are looking in the same book as I am looking in, because if you're not, you might have a miscommunication there. So let's carry on. And he spake, so remember, Moses fell on his face, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him. So finally got to Moses, and Moses says, all right, so let's deal with this. Tomorrow, let's set it up so that when the God of Israel visits, he'll show who's holy and who's for him and so forth. So remember, not all, by the way, these guys are all Israelites, by the way. Dathan, Korah, Abiram, the company, the congregation. So there's no strangers here right now. There's not a single stranger amongst this congregation. These are all Israelites. But our topic is all Israel is not Israel. That's our topic. But yet we're saying that, all right, let's go there. Let's continue. All right, verse 6. This do, take you censers, Korah, and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord does choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. Again, they're all the same brethren, Levi to Levi, by the way. Moses and Aaron are Levi. Korah isn't Levi, but then we've got Abiram and Dathan that are from the tribe of Reuben. And by the way, all are still Israelites. Okay, just to understand that so we don't lose track. And they're going to get censors. And again, to do censors, you're in the priesthood section. You're dealing with the priesthood, the service of God, those that conduct the service of God, that carry out these things. Again, it's not the normal congregation that just come in and hear the word and follow the command and do as they're instructed to do. These guys have to prepare things, prepare whatever they have to set up. Okay, so again, to do census, to deal with the census, you can't be just anybody. And only the tribe of Levi is supposed to deal with the service of God and handling all these holy things. Just remember that. It can't be from, oh, Benjamin coming. No. The Levites are instructed to deal with these things. Hence why all of them are coming up against Moses. All right, let's carry on. Where am I? 8? And Moses says unto Korah, hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi. Moses is talking to his own tribe. Seemeth but a small thing unto you that the God of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. See, there you go. These are the people that have to minister unto the congregation, because the tribe of Levi are the ones that do not get any of the inheritance. Their inheritance is with the God of Israel. So they have to do the service of God to get these things. And so they have to minister. So when we go any type of holy days, there's a certain priesthood or group that does these things. We come in and we hear what we have to do. All right, let's carry on. Where am I? 10 or 11? 10. And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee, and seek ye the priesthood. So you see, again, they're trying to do the same. And by the way, so far, is it sound any different from what's happening today? Because we have our elder Shadrach, and again, for us to understand anything about Israel, we had to come into the house of Israel. Before that, we had no idea his name. Why there was a Sabbath day? You all think it was Saturday or Sunday. Every Saturday or Sunday, you thought it was Sabbath. New moons and Passover. Feels like you have no clue about this thing until you came to the house of Israel. And who brought that message? That was our master teacher, Elder Shadrach. Without that man, I wouldn't even be standing up here telling you about God, the real God, the true and living God. And that still doesn't catch anybody, because you really know how to talk to God? Yeah, you know how to pray? Yeah, I didn't know that before. So now that you do, you know how to give thanks and praise. Let's carry on. For verse 11, for which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord. And what is Aaron that ye murmur against? Yeah, what does Aaron have to do with this? Why are you riling him up? What's he got to do? It's Moses, me, deal with me. Why are you bringing Aaron into this? Like bringing him into the mix, for what purpose? Okay, Moses just helping. I mean, Aaron is just helping Moses here. So why you bring drag him into, what do they call it? Drag him into the mud or something like that? Okay. Again, not all Israel, but yet here we have so far from the priesthood that minister, we got Korah, Dathan, and Abiram that is going up against Moses, the messenger of God. Sounds like today, our elder Shadrach is the messenger of God, yet we have all these people that are going up against him. For what? Because he's telling you. And by the way, you the student, are going to now come to the teacher and says, I'm ahead of you? How does that make sense? Where in history has ever a student is ahead of the master? Where in history is that? But yet everybody's trying to do that today with our elder, man. What's wrong with you people? Anyways. These are your people, by the way, Shanette. My people too, don't worry. Anyways. All right. Verse 13. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought up us out of the land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether prince over? So they're saying that, Moses, you took us out of Egypt, the land of milk and honey, right? I thought you were bawling and crying your head off to be freed from the taskmaster. Were you not? You're saying, crying to the God of Israel of all the things that Pharaoh and his men are doing to you guys. What's it? Making bricks without straws and slapping you with the whips and all these things. Yet you're saying back to Moses, now you brought us out of the land of milk and honey. How's coming out of Egypt the land of milk and honey? When you're bawling your head off, wanting to be free from the Egyptians. How's that? Jeez. I think these guys got their minds mixed up. And then he said, you want to be a prince over us? Moses didn't say he wants to be a prince over anybody. Moses was chosen to deliver the message. Okay, all he is a messenger. That's all he is a messenger to say, return to your God, because you're straying away. You're going off into la la land. You're serving other gods. You're doing what the heathens are doing. You're not supposed to be doing what they do. You have your own stuff to go by. So come back and do what is right, because there's so much blessings to be given unto you if you do what is right for your God. And he chose you, so why are you straying off? So yeah, anyways, let's carry on. 14. Moreover, thou hast not brought us up into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. So you don't want to come up because Moses calling up. You don't want to go up to say, hey, Moses, let's have a conversation and whatnot. Telling Moses, you didn't bring us into no land of milk and honey. Of course not. We're still wandering in the desert because there's so many old wine and stuff in you guys. One day you come out, you're bald. The next day you want to go back. Like, seriously, just because you passed the Red Sea, now you say, Moses, bring us back. We missed the leeks and cucumbers. But wait a minute, were you not crying your head off about being free and want to come out from this enslavement of Pharaoh and his men? In fact, you were so scaredy that when he was coming over the Red Sea, you were bawling, saying, oh, how are we going to get past it? See, he had no faith in Moses and the thing that he could do. No faith. Let's continue reading. And Moses was very wroth and said unto the Lord, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from thee, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. Sounds like we're going to have a showdown tomorrow, actually, of whether you're with Israel or not Israel, even though they're all Israelites, to tell you the truth. So we'll find out what happened tomorrow. And take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers. Thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereof, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. So everybody's gathered together, the tabernacle. You got your incense, and there's fire in it. Moses and Aaron on one side, and followed by Korah, Dathan, and Ethan, and 250 princes on one side. So it's like two against all these 253. That sounds about right. We're finding out what happened. Okay. And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereof, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. So now God comes and says, all right, so looks like we got something to deal with here. I got to figure what's going on here. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron. So he did not speak to Dathan, Korah, and Abiram. He spoke unto Moses. Okay, we're at verse 21. All right, and he said, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. So the God of Israel says, Moses, Go over that side there. Separate yourself from these people, because I got to deal with these people. Like, really? Well, that's if you can think of how these black people deal with people. Go over there, and you go over that side, and let me deal with these people, because I'm ready to consume. Because he was wrath. Wrath means angry. Okay. And they fell upon their faces and said, "O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and will thou be wroth with all the congregation?" By the way, this is Moses and Aaron that fell on their face, because the God of Israel says, "I will consume them and the whole congregation." So he was ready to wipe out everybody. Moses and Aaron pleaded for the congregation to say, "Don't consume them." And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, "Speak unto the congregation, saying, Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram." So you have the story so far that the three guys, two from Reuben, one from Levi, took 250 men of renowned people that are famous in the congregation, and to say, "Hey, we got to go deal with Moses. Moses is taking too much work on himself and not sharing the workload." By the way, they were also doing stuff too, but they wanted to be in the highlight of the doing of the work. Remember, Moses was the one that was talking to God, bringing the message down, and they wanted to replace Moses. Sounds like today, everybody wants to replace our elder Shadrach, yet they have no knowledge or understanding of what to do. So I have no idea why you want to do that. So same thing, then and now. Moses, you're taking on too much work, man. Share the work. But listen, in the Levite, in the priesthood, you all have different duties to do. It's like on a soccer field. Where's my man Andrew? He's not here. Anyways, so soccer, if you guys football in the UK or Europe, soccer in North America, there's many different, there's a goalie, there's the defender, there's the midfield, and then you got the striker, center. And so I played that, and I know how grueling it is. So I'm a midfielder. Why? Because I have a lot of endurance, and a midfielder has to help the forward and the defender. So, and I don't want to be in the position where I should be in the center trying to score. There are times, yes, that they are in that position, but they pass it off to the left field or the right field or the center. Because if I go all the way up to score, and so happened that the ball slipped from me and it gets kicked back, who's there to help out the defender? Where's the midfielder? Like, you know what I mean? The midfield guys are supposed to help both because they have the endurance to go back and forth. That's their job. The defenders will follow the flow. If there's nothing to do, they're just there, but they're back there. They're not going to go in the center to try and score. So again, positions. These guys all have their different position in the priesthood that they got to do. Moses is the one that's got to deal with God directly, not Dathan, Abiram, and Korah. Okay? That's not their job. They're not in the inner, the tabernacle, because it says when the clouds and everything is filling, it's Moses that's in there. Should he make a mistake? Oh boy, you have no, in those days it was brutal actually. It's not like today when you make a mistake, you can kind of get away with it the next day. In those days, you were like done quickly. There was no second chance in those days. There was no like you couldn't make mistakes. All right, where are my people? Help me out. All right, 24. Speak unto the congregation, saying, Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. At least the elders were with Moses. They didn't tag along with Korah and Dathan and Abiram. And speak unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. Again, they're all Israelites. Dathan, Korah, Abiram, and the 250 princes, and plus Moses and Aaron, they're all, but yet it's saying, and it's saying, get you up from these wicked men and touch nothing of theirs, because something is about to happen. Somebody is going to get the boot. Well, let's find out. Let's continue. Okay. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan and Abiram, on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little children. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. There you have it. Moses said, listen, I didn't volunteer for this job. God says he picked me, and I have no choice now because he has chosen me, just like you guys. When you were chosen to be in the congregation of Israel, your job is now to serve the true and living God. And by the way, when you get to the real nitty-gritty, you'll be extremely thankful that you've been chosen, because out of all the billions of people on this planet of our called Earth, very few get this truth, this knowledge, this understanding on serving the true and living God, the God that created the very earth that you stand upon, the air that you breathe, and you think tomorrow you're going to make it. You have no clue that you'll make it tomorrow. You have no idea. When you put your head down, you have no idea you're going to wake up. Nobody does, because nobody knows when their time has come anyways. So don't even think that, oh yeah, I'm good for tomorrow. Don't even make that wishful thinking, because you have no idea. So that same God that gave you that spirit and that could put you out even before you even blink. Yeah, Moses deal with him, but he's about to consume the people that are supposed to be serving him and doing the service for him. But yet they want to come up against Moses, the one that's been chosen to do the work, the leader. We have our own elder shout, our leader, that gives us the instruction, tells us what to do, when to do things, how it's supposed to be done properly, so that you be given favor in the eyes of the God of Israel, so that you be blessed. So again, God says, all right, separate yourself, Moses, you and Aaron, because I'm about to consume these guys. But here we go. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. Verse 29. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited upon after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. And provoke him, yes, they have, because they're going up against God's messenger, the man that's been chosen to lead his people by. So when you go up against the leader of the nation of Israelite nation, you are provoking the God of Israel. So for you out there, know ye that if you do go against our elder Shadrach, you are provoking the God of Israel. How else can I say it? That's a provocation. Like, you want to uphold the leadership, you want to do what he does, but isn't he the one that taught you these things in the first place? You still have you're just a youngin', so how would you want to do that when you have so much more to go and how much more to learn? Yet you want to say, I have enough. And by the way, I ran into that too. I used to coach, I used to jump rope a lot too. So I'll give you a little background in my little lifeline story. So I jump rope. I competed in all kinds of jump rope competition and stuff like that. And I've coached tons, never mind, just tons of people from one country to the next. And here I am teaching these little ones. They're just coming up, maybe 12, 13-year-olds. And they come to me and say, well, I think this is the best way to do it. Okay. It's like, I've won how many championships and you have not even won championship yet? You're going to tell me what you think is best? I'm looking out for your best interest here. I'm your coach. By the way, coaches are always looking out for the athletes. And why? Because it also highlights the technique, the coaching of that person to see how good they actually are. Okay, when you coach and your team wins, it highlights the coach and the whole coaching staff to say they did the right program. Because if they don't win, it's like everybody looks down and says, oh man, we need to fire that coach. It happens in football and basketball a lot. As soon as after a season, ex-coaches are gone because they didn't win the championship. As if it's not hard enough, eh? So anyways, yeah, you got these 12, 13-year-old, 15-year-olds thinking that they know much more than the head coach. I go, oh yeah? Okay, all right. You go, you know what? You'll do your thing and I'll work with these guys more, so I won't work with you. So it happened that the guys that I work with become national champions. Where did you didn't even place in the top 10. That's because years of experience, already done it, been there, could tell these young ones, this is the shortcut method to get to the top quickly. You haven't even gone there yet. So how do you want to end up telling me, the coach, to say, I think this is the best way? Have you gone there yet? Have you done this? Do you know that you got to get up early and train this way? You don't even know these things. Do you know that you got to eat this type of food so that you can be energized the whole day? See? And yet they want to take over. Again, so again, do not try and take over the head position if you're not given it. So don't try and take over Moses' position. Don't try and take over our elders' position if you don't know what you're doing or what you're talking about. Do you have the understanding? No. Elder Sophie, please.
Now, it's a key point that oh Lord, a key point that I noticed was that even in Moses' humility, he wasn't the one telling the people, this is what the God of Israel is going to do. It was a command. Through him again, go and tell the people, this is what I said. So he didn't take it upon himself to say, well, because I'm Moses, God is going to kill you. No, he had to get a command. So even in his humility, it's like we take the leaders that we have, like they're on the same level as us. Like we become so comfortable in everything. Like I was saying to my husband this week, just imagine, seriously, if Elder wasn't there, imagine your life without Elder being there. Because I think a lot of us think we could do all these things now because you know what? Either we know it, so we could do it ourselves because it's the same way. It's you're with them for a time, and at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you know what? I could do all this, and then you start getting the groups forming. Yeah, we could do this on our own, but then remove the leadership, like remove Elder or remove Moses. Seriously, remove all of them. What are we left with? Just the same life we've been living before. We would have still been in Christianity. Some would have been Muslim. Some would have been whatever. Like really and truly, you could research, and we have done it because it's so many years in the nation. Research, but you still couldn't find that these colors belongs to us. You still wouldn't find the name of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You still wouldn't find, it seems so small, and that's what it is. It seems so small that, hey, we know that the seventh day now is the Sabbath day. It's not every Saturday because we have taken even that for granted. And I think that's what it is, even in this time, because again, it's the God of Israel says, you've provoked me to anger. It's against me. He's not even speaking about Moses, like, hey, you're seeing the physical man, but all the things that you're doing, even now, and even in our time, we do the same thing now. We're seeing the physical person, so we don't think anymore that we don't think anything higher than that. So when we do these things, we do feel that we are doing it against maybe the person. We don't see beyond the person. And I think from the story you're reading till today, it is the same thing happening. We don't see the blessing that we get, so we take it for granted, and then we think that we become the teachers. We were born with this. And I think that's what's happening there too. So those little things, I don't know, my mind always goes into those things.
Great comment, great point. Absolutely. The fact that, yeah, we do take a lot of things for granted. And again, it's only maybe because we truly do not understand spirituality. So when you truly get that, then you'll see beyond the physical flesh as I'm standing here. Let's continue on. Verse 31. And it came to pass as he had made an end of speaking all these words that the ground clave asunder that was under them. And who are them? We're talking Dathan, Abiram, and Korah, and their wives, their sons, and their children. And it like so can you imagine if we got together After you came up against Moses and Aaron, you got your censer pot. You thing. Moses pleaded for the congregation. Finally, God says, Moses, speak to the congregation, tell them to separate themselves because I'm going to consume these guys and their families. Like we're talking little children, what, 2-year old, 1-year old. I know it's hard for us to, and you say God loves everybody. He's about to slaughter these people. I no, I'm seriously. Let me continue in. You'll see. Okay, let me continue. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah, and all their goods. So every single thing of them got swallowed up. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. So you see, God is, listen, I'm going to consume these guys. And he swallowed the earth, opened up, everybody, I don't know how big the radius is, who knows, maybe a kilometer? You know how long a kilometer is. You can't even run there in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, well, about 20 minutes will take you to finish a kilometer. So that distance, maybe who knows how big that area is, but it swallowed them all up anyways, alive. Children, men, women, houses, all this stuff that they've worked for, that they've gotten, all that stuff that they took from Egypt when they said, let me borrow from the Egyptian, all that gold and silver. Wow. Sounds cruel? No, but God says, you provoke me, so I will deal with you. Pardon? Oh, yeah, I know. Jeez. Jeez. Whew. Let's continue. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, lest the earth swallowed us up also. Oh boy. Mm. 35. And they came out, and there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense, because they were not supposed to offer incense. They're not supposed to. If you go into the tabernacle and you offered incense and you're not supposed, you will get consumed right there. Even Aaron, when he had to go and they had to wear stuff to make noise so that they not get consumed right away. He had to have bells that had to say, I'm coming in, I'm coming in, don't consume me. Yeah, he literally had to, otherwise he would get consumed. So yeah, these guys that are not supposed to minister for that work got their their recompense or whatever. Don't fall, don't let that Bible fall. All right, 36. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, that he take up censers out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hallowed. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar, for they offer them before the Lord. Therefore they are hallowed, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers wherewith they that were burned had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger, get that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aaron, shall come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he be not as Korah and as his company, as the Lord said to him that by the hand of Moses. So from then on, it had to be definitely from the the seed of Aaron, to go into the altar and do these things. No stranger, nobody else. Just Aaron and his sons and from that lineage on could do these things. Okay? So now you have a lot of stuff that we wonder why certain priests don't do certain things, because it's said here from the seed of Aaron only now that will be doing that. Okay? But they're all Levites though. They're all Israelites. But then we found out that Dathan, Korah, and Abiram were Israelites, but not all Israel is Israel. Pardon? I can't hear you. Let me hear what you got to say, Auntie Shonette. Let's hear what you want to, because it sounds awesome.
Yes, I'm saying although they're all Israel, they use the word stranger. Strange to this position, but not stranger as in not an Israelite.
Right.
But just reading it there, it seems kind of weird to say no stranger. And he's just saying no one that's not of the seed of Aaron should be allowed to do this. Isn't that
That's it. That tells you how serious that job was then. Because now his selection was just finite, just that. Let's continue reading. Wow, I don't have a lot of time actually. Huh. Jeez. Going by too quick. Maybe we can halt the time. Anyways, 41. But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, Ye have killed the people of the Lord. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Didn't yesterday?
Yes.
Let me read. I got to read that again. Because yesterday, Dathan, Korah, and Abiram got swallowed up, Pitney, and everybody, houses, goods. So you got a memory like a goldfish? Like, to me, if that happened and I was still alive then, it'd be like, listen, I'm staying in my tent. I'm not even moving an inch because it's still as if I'm living it now. But then again, it happened and they already forgot. Like, it's not even in our time 24 hours. Because if it happened at, say, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock didn't even come back around the next day, and they're already murmuring against Aaron and Moses, saying, You have, but wait a minute, didn't they scattered when the stuff was happening? They scattered because they said, Lest we be consumed too. Scatter. You ever play marbles? And the circle and you marbles are good. It's just trying to relate to see that it's scattered. Because that's when you use a steely and you pitch it and hit the circle and the marble them scatter. See, Auntie Yvonne? Pool also, snooker pool. The ball scattered in every which direction. So they scattered like that yesterday because they witnessed it. The earth opened up, swallowed these guys, family, children, sons, everybody, all the goods. And the next day they come around saying, But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, Ye have killed the people of the Lord. But weren't you guys didn't see that they come up against Moses, and Moses says, If you are for God, he separate, and he tell them to separate, and God says, I'm going to consume. And you heard all what Moses was saying to them, yet you're going to come the next day and says, You're murmuring against him. Moses, why you're going to kill the people of God? Jeez, it's hard for me to grasp that in my head. And it came to pass when the congregation was gathered against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked toward the tabernacle of the congregation, and behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, All right, it's not even full 24 hours. Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces. Again, Moses and Aaron fell upon their faces because the God was about to consume the congregation, the Israelites, the same murmuring that not all Israel is Israel. Within that whole congregation, You are all Israelite, but yet why are you murmuring against the man of God? Mm. All right, 46. And Moses says unto Aaron, take a censer and put fire therein from off the altar, and put on incense, and go quickly into the congregation and make an atonement for them. For there is wrath gone out from the Lord, the plague is begun. Wow. So Aaron had to hustle because plague is coming, and he's got to stay this plague because it's coming hard. And Aaron took as Moses commanded and ran into the midst of the congregation, and behold, the plague has begun among the people. And he put on incense and made an atonement for the people. Jeez, he rushed in and had to pray, had to hurry that prayer to say whatever pleading he had to do to make sure that the congregation is not consumed. Because if he didn't do it, this is what's going to happen. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. So the minute the God of Israel says, get you up, I'm going to consume that plague, whatever type, it means people are just dropping. It's not like today you get that, I think something's coming over me. You go and say, you know what, I'm getting a fever. I'm drinking this. I'm gonna go to the doctor. The doctor says, you got a high fever, and this is how many days it takes you. No, this is immediate. People are just dropping, and Aaron had to do his thing, and he's standing between the living and the dead. Can you imagine you standing between the living and the dead? You see somebody dropping, you want to go like this. Somebody got the cooties. Let's move. Like, I'm serious. I mean, children, you always talk about in school. I got the cooties. You don't want to touch them. But yeah, that's what's happening those days. The plague was coming quickly. Let me continue here. Yeah, 49. Thank you. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, besides them that had died about the matter of Korah. So how many thousand in that moment? 14,700 plus the 253. That's what's that word? Holy. I like that word. A lot of people died in that moment. And again, Aaron had to hustle, get the incense, get the fire, go in there and make the prayer quick. What are you pleading for? How much? He had to plead so that, because if he didn't stand between the living and the dead, can you imagine? Okay, let's put the imagination to work. Imagine if he didn't stand between the living and the dead and did what he did. And that was happening in the moment, like quickly, that people are just dying. It's like the shadow waving across like that, just dying, dropping. And people that murmured. These are the same people that murmured. Like, people in those days love to murmur. I mean, today's the same. It's actually no better than today, that people are murmuring. One minute you hear the truth and you say, yes, this is for me. I must serve this God that has opened up my eye. I now know that, Passover is actually for me, and it's happening in New Year, and there's a real month called Abib. And I got to celebrate the New Year because it's the real New Year, not January, but the actual time of New Year, because that's when things come to life. So you now know this God, yet you're going to murmur against the man that brought the message and his helpers, the council members. Why would you want to do that? You didn't even know this in the first place when New Year came. What Passover is. The fact that it says you got to get a lamb. Nice lamb too. Delicious lamb. Eat the lamb with unleavened bread, bitter herbs. You didn't no clue why they had to leave Egypt in hustle, because you gotta leave. Pharaoh says, come out of his land, and the angel of death is gonna come over if you don't have certain things in place. Can you imagine if you didn't do that? and you got caught outside. I always wonder what happened to those people that got caught outside when it says put the blood on the lintel and don't go out because the angel of death is going to come over. And there's some people that got caught outside because they didn't want to follow instructions. Yeah, not all Israel is Israel. Hello. Like they're not all gonna follow instruction, even though they now know. Some of them don't follow it. They want to be their own boss. They want to be the leader. Hence, our elder always tells us that there's always churches opening up here and there because they got a little bit of information, and now they think they're good enough to teach and do all kinds of things. Again, I don't know. Let me finish reading off here. And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle and of the congregation, and the plague was stayed. So again, if he did not do that, the plague would have kept going until everybody would be consumed. And at that time, listen, when you provoke the God of Israel in those days, things happen just like that. Why? Because the tabernacle of the Lord is amongst the people. So things happen instantly. Not, let me give you 2 days and whatnot. No, it happened instantly. Many a times when you read through the 5 books of Moses, when the tabernacle is amongst the people and things happen, it was instant, immediately. There was no giving you some time to prep. Let me kind of say my last wishes to my family. No, you drop dead right there and then. So again, you have to make sure that you are not murmuring against the messenger of God. And not all Israel is Israel, even though we say we're Israelites. But are you really? Are you following the instructions? Auntie Shanette.
Thinking about that nation that took the Ark of the Covenant and what happened to them for stealing the
Right.
Yeah.
The Philistines.
yeah.
The Philistines that took the Ark of the Covenant. And they said, now that we got this, yeah, all the power's going to be with us. All manner of things happened to emerods and some of the disease that smote all the men. And Dagon, their god, was toppled over. Come one day, his head was missing. Come the next day, hands and feet were missing. All these things happened because you got the Ark of the Covenant. It doesn't belong to you. And nothing unclean should be near it anyways. So a lot of things happen. So yes, in those days, the tabernacle of God, when it was amongst the people, because they were traveling through the wilderness. And why were they traveling through the wilderness? Although it could have took them less than a year to get there, I think. But because there was a lot of, yeah, in that, all that old wine stuff. Look, they just left Egypt. Okay? All those miracles and things that happened. Yet they're already saying, Moses, you took us out of the land of milk and honey. Like, well, why is Egypt the milk? Like, come on. You're murmuring against, you got your own brethren that's saying, hey, you're taking on too much work. Let us share some of the work, man. But you're not part of that part that does the ministering of that. You are in there, but you all have your own different jobs to do within that lineage of the Levites. You don't all get to go into the altar room and do things. You don't all do this. You all have your little things to do, even if it's just to hold the door open. That is your job. Love it, enjoy it, and be delighted you actually have a job. Like you have no idea. Just be glad you have a job. Even to come and sit and hear and clap, be thankful that you are hearing the truth. Because not everybody gets to hear it. And when you hear it, it just goes right over their head. Have no clue. Listen, I got a couple of minutes left. So let me leave you with a quote from our master teacher, our elder Shadrach. You're smiling because, no, it's a great quote. I'll give it to you. All right. Because the scripture says you got to worship. If you want to, what does it say? God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. But here's what our elder Shadrach says. He says, if there is no truth, then there is no God of Israel. For truth is the symbol of the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Peace.
Thank you very much. He stole. That means that's something very important to say. He stole and he hijacked my scriptures. A few of the scriptures. I wasn't here because I was, elsewhere tending to business. But the subject matter, not all Israel is Israel. Now I had a conversation with Elder Andor, and he said to me, please, Elder Tyrone, be nice. Be nice. Encourage the people. Make them feel good. I'm like, no, no. Why? He says, please, just for my sake. To me, I'll think about it. Halfway when I'm up here, I'm like, no, I think I'm going to stick to the plan. But not all Israel is Israel. Who do you consider that you are then? Do you consider that you are Israel? Truly, think about it. Do you really think that you are Israel? Who knows where to find the scripture, not all Israel is Israel? Did Elder Elvis read it in Romans 9:6? No? That's where you find it. Romans 9:6. For they are not all Israel which are of Israel. That's a very, very deep statement. Very deep. Because everybody says that they love the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Everyone says that they want to worship the true and the living God. Everybody says, I found my God. I found the right way to be. True or false? Everybody says, this is the right way. This is my God. And then when just a little bit of adversity comes, a little bit of chastisement, Amos 3:2, then we fade away, or like the chaff which the wind driveth away. For Amos 3:2, what does it say, Sean? Only you have I known, or hear ye the word of the Lord. Only you have I known. Therefore I will chastise you. But we don't like licks. As did you read that too? No. I was thinking that you read that. But we don't like beaten. We don't like to get corrected. We're like a branch that grows crooked and we're trying to get it straight, but no, it refuses to be straight. It does, it just refuses, but it's trying to come out of the same root. Now, when you listen to the term, not all Israel is Israel, how does that sound? It's a sentence that actually shakes nations because everybody thinks they're Israel. You have Hebrew Israelites, Christian Israelites, Messianic Israelites, Judean Israelites. How many other Israelites are there in the world? There's tons, huh? Bad man Israelites, I don't know what they call themselves. And all these things, right? I think me, Elder Freddie, and Elder Andrew came from the bad man Israelite part. And we kind of realized that it didn't exist. True or false? Dana? You see, it's true. You're a funny girl. But when you listen to that line, it really exposes a history. You see, this one truth separates blood from the covenant, the name from obedience, or laying claim to a name. You can lay claim to a name. I'm an Israelite. I don't care. I love it. I love the fact when I hear it, but I want to see your deeds. And how did you know that you are an Israelite? You see, let's go back a bit. Who remembers the story of the golden calf? I'm going to go back, then I'm going to come forward. The story of the golden calf. When Moses was up 40 days and 40 nights getting the instructions from the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Israel said, we're not what of this Moses? Maybe he's dead. Let's just come, Moses, Aaron, make us gods. Gods, S. 2. Remember I said 2. Golden calves. 2. Make us gods. And then Aaron, being the most spiritual person, being the most highly ranked spiritually, that's why he was able to do it. He built and fashioned golden calves. When Moses came down, he said, oh, I just threw the gold in and out came the calf. Read the story. It's so funny. It's so funny, man. You just know it's children of Jacob, man. You know he's a black person. It's very comedic. I just threw the gold in and out came this calf. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. I have none. It wasn't Moses. I don't know. But they worshipped the golden calf. Now I want to take you on maybe an emotional journey. Maybe when they were there worshipping the golden calf, singing, clapping their hands, eyes rolling. Then they got to the point they stripped themselves naked. They felt good, right? Wasn't there a feeling? I feel good. I feel close to God. True or false? They did, because Moses is looking at them saying, oh my gosh. When you come down, he goes, look at what they're doing. They stripped themselves to the point they were enjoying the feeling of these be thy gods that brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. They said that was the gods, and they became, and this is Israel. Not all Israel is Israel, I guess. Because Moses now said, okay, who is on the Lord's side? So therefore he showed a separation. When I hear, oh, priest Tyrone, the separation, listen, let me tell you something. The God of Israel has been separating us from the very beginning. I know it's hard to understand or you don't believe it, but it's in the book. He separated us up in heaven. He separated us on earth. From him, he said, no, I'm becoming full spirit, separated. Then after that, he separated with who? His sons. Then after that, he separated again with who? Noah. I'm going to take Noah, you guys die. Then after that, again, I'm going to separate. I'm going to choose Seth, separate. Oh, Abraham, separate. Leave Lot, leave Babylon. Let's go, separate. Oh, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Oh, Jacob, Esau, separate. You're twins, separate. I don't want you. I hate you. Listen, he said, I hate Esau. He never said I dislike. Hate is, that's the end. I hate Esau. Jacob, I love. Look at Jacob, so fluffy. You're there in your mum's bosom, your mummy rubbing his head, and and he's full of all the gifts. But I was gonna chill, mommy, just rub my head. Lazy, right? Get up and do something, but he knows he can. He has a lot more given to him. His mother knew the promise. Separation. Now he goes and he sees God. And he wrestles with God. He fights with God all night. Do you know how strong spiritually you have to be to fight with God? Don't look at these men looking like us. They don't look like us. They don't. I know you think that this is how we always look. A little different. He wrestled with God all night to the fact that God had to touch him in his hinder parts and dismantle him a bit so that he would stop. And after they said, what's your name? Jacob. No. Now your name is Israel. Separation. There's Jacob. Here's Israel. Again, lots of separation. But then after that, now we come now to this time. And we come to this day and age. See, I'm fast forwarding just a little bit. But then I come to my very, very favorite, one of my favorite subject matters. But before I get there, I want to go and talk about the name of Israel without the nature of Israel. The name of Israel without having the nature. You can have the name as much as you want. You can have it as much as you want. If you're a wealthy man and you have your sons in your family and they come out of that household and they decide not to keep to the rules and the laws that you have established, well, in your will, you write them out. They no longer carry your name. If you know the royal family in the UK, that's exactly what's happened. Now this prince cannot be called by that title from that family, the royal family, anymore. You know who I'm speaking about. So what is the difference with Israel? There is none. This is the house of Israel. I don't know if you read this very clearly. Read it and read it what's on the two pillars. This is the house of Israel, where the God of Israel's name is established, where all the items of what he needs for his people is here. You. So if you decide to say, you know what, Elder, it's all right, you know, I just want to take a vacation away and chill on the other side for a little bit, you know, I just want to just go away and be outside, you know, just, you know, I want to be outdoors, man. I'm tired of this. I want to go to the Dominican Republic. I want to go to San Francisco. I want to enjoy myself. I can't do the new moon Sabbath all the time. Trust me, I'm coming back. Oh, Elder Sophie said Dubai. Goodbye, Dubai. Right? And you just want to do all these things. Are you now a member and still of the house of Israel? Are you? You have the name, but the nature is not you. Nature. You know what nature is of an Israelite? Keeping the laws, the statutes, and judgments and loving them. Loving them. And I'm talking about your personality because we all got crooked personalities. Right? And those who are laughing, you're the most crooked ones. I'm laughing too. However, the nature at heart, you want to keep the laws, the statutes, and the judgments all the days of your life. You see, we've always wanted the name of our God, but we're far away from him. Really far away from him. John 4 says, ye know not what ye worship. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the who are. So you can have the name, but the nature, you don't know who you are worshiping. When they separated themselves and became naked before Moses and before God, they worshipped. They didn't know what they were worshiping, but they stripped naked before it and thought these are the gods that brought us out of Egypt. And they all did. Do you understand? Do you know how wicked you have to be to do that? Do you know how wicked you have? No, serious wickedness. Because you just saw the sea part. You saw the cloudy pillar by day, the fiery pillar by night. He delivered you out of all of your struggles. He gave you gold and linen and fine clothes. He had jewelries and your hair was meshed beautifully. He had food and everything. He fed you with angels' food. And then you couldn't wait 40 days to separate your nature away from the name. That's why they had to die. He said, gather the men, Israel, and kill them. 3,000 men fell that day. And then he did my favorite thing. I'm coming somewhere. I'm coming somewhere. So if you accidentally find yourself on the other side, I'm going to try and help you to understand how you got there. He grinded down the golden calves. There was more than one. The gold. He strawed it along the water and said, Israel, drink it. I don't know if that was a really bad thing what he did. You know, because the Christ said, if you were Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham in John 8. But yes, too, they did the work of their father, the devil. And they drank that golden calf. Understand what's happening. They drank the golden calf. And then now, as Elder Elvis was explaining, all the atrocities, what they did, they rebelled against Israel. They rebelled against the leadership. They rebelled against themselves. They told on each other. They betrayed each other. They said, oh, I can do better than Moses. I can teach you, Moses. Where have you heard this before? Same story. But guess what happened? You know what happens when you eat food from people you shouldn't eat? and drink things you shouldn't drink, it has an effect. And you see, I want to open your mind a bit. That golden calf, where do you think the generations of those people who drank it, what happened to them? They didn't die. They continued. They bore more children, and then they died. Then they bore more children, and then they died. Then they continued to have children until they come to you. So where do you think the golden calf is? Inside of those who found themselves repeating the same actions as their fathers. It's probably naturally selected. That you have the golden calf inside you, and you will betray the God of Israel, and you will turn on his back. Yes, you drank it. And it was just a matter of time for you to do exactly what your fathers did. So if you find yourself here, this is the good side. If you find yourself at the house of Israel, year after year, 10, 20 years, my gosh, 30 years, 40 years, and you're not going out nowhere, Elder Sophie. Oh my gosh. Can I give you the good news? Can I give you the good news? Your family did not drink the golden calf. You think it's joke? You did, because it filtered out in you. It's not in you, but it's in a lot of our people. Look at their behavior. All their behavior is of the golden calf. All of them. Look closely. Don't discount it. And then you begin to understand why they behave the way they do. They got no choice. There's no choice. That spirit, that's all it knows. It's probably nice. You ever drink gold? You know that they probably put gold on lamb. Nah, they're making sure you have the gold, and maybe from a calf. You ever seen that before? You ever had golden lamb? No? Yeah. Oh, look. Okay, everybody, keep your eye open, all right? Eyes open. Eyes open. So, that calf is in the children of Israel. And they begin to do all the things against my God. And sometimes they can't help it. Dana says, what are you doing? Oh, child of Israel, I'm doing what I want. I'm still an Israelite. I'm worshiping that calf. Don't worry. No, they substituted my God for another entity who they call God. Oh, my God. It's not my God. Who knows a story, or who can remember the story where this happened again? Where there's a golden calf. Jeroboam and Rehoboam, where the kingdom was split in two because of Solomon. Solomon loved all these women. That's a problem. All these women, and they led him to build groves unto their gods. And now the God of Israel said, I'm going to split the kingdom in two. Because I'm sick of this. You have Judah over there, you have Jerusalem over there. But it still behaved. Look how they behaved. Did they behave like this house of Israel? No. Did they say, irrespective of what's going on, we are going to stand and we're going to keep to the principles of our God? No. No. The kingdom is fractured. Fractured. Because why? Because of one man's sin. A big sin, by the way, because God of Israel put a lot of hope and trust in him. And when he fractured Israel, now you had people who were the lowest he made priests. They made priests, the lowest of the people. Rehoboam was the son who actually stood at the crossroads. The elders begged him. You know, this is the problem when you have friends. You have to be careful who you keep as friends, you know, because the friends are young and hip. Yeah, man, don't worry, man. Do it like this. It's okay, man. You can still do it. You can negotiate. You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah, it's good. Everyone's talking. You're trying to be in with the clique, as it were. Friends, you got to be careful of. When you're serving this God, your friends, you got to watch them with very extreme prejudice and extreme scrutiny, because they will help you to lead the other way. It's a spiritual people. We're a spiritual nation. 1 Kings 12 and 7. If thou wilt be a servant unto this people, this is what was spoken to Rehoboam, then they will be thy servant forever. 1 Kings 12:7. But you know what happened with Rehoboam? Pride. You know what pride speaks louder than? Wisdom. Pride. He says, I can do this better than my dad. Isn't that right, Minister Ezekiel? I can play basketball better than my dad. I can dunk better. Elder Jerry looked at me and goes, oh, no, Elder Tyrone, it's not true. The son rises up and says, I'm going to be better than my dad. In a good way, of course. There's nothing wrong with that. But this one was wicked. 1 Kings 12:11, he said, my father chastised you with whips, but me, I'm going to chastise you with scorpions. That's real. That means I'm gonna be wreaking havoc in your life. You think that my dad was bad? You wait for me. You wait for me, guys. I'm gonna topple what my father did. Why is Israel like this? We always try to be better than the next one, the previous leader. We want to be better than all the kings. It was a competition. It was crazy. I'm gonna be better than the last king. The last king, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. The next king, and did even more wickedly than the sight of the Lord. The next one, even more. How many good kings were there in Israel? Probably about 3. The rest were just terrible. Terrible. But like that, the kingdom is split. 10 tribes Jeroboam took away. But the kingdom must still stand. How many would now stay and say, I'm still going to serve the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob? The kingdom is split. My family has gone one way. I don't know what to do. All my friends have gone away from me. All my buddies who I grew up with when I was just a little lad, we got baptized together. We did Passover together. We did all these wonderful things together, Danielle. And I'm the only one left, Asha. But you're still here. You're still serving the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You can still lay claim to the name Israel. You can. And I don't know what everybody else says, one's Israel outside. Everybody, there's about, how many Israelites do we count? 5, 6, 7 Israelites? Or different versions of an Israelite? But you are the true and living Israelites today. You serve the only true and the living God. You know his name. Elder Shadrach has taught us his name. How is it possible that you can come from a household, divide yourself up, and go out and still call on his name and say, I am serving the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? You tell me how that makes sense. And thieves and robbers and trying to come in through the back door, which you mean you're a thief and you cannot be family. Because my sheep hear my voice. They know me and they will do what? Follow me. Elder stole all my scriptures this morning. I had all these scriptures. I had to remix everything because I just can't. I had to remix the whole thing. And Elder didn't know what I was going to do today. Neither did Elder Lewis. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you've given me a headache. But the Spirit speaks and it does what it needs to do. And so will I. But how many of you will truly stand and say, you know what? I don't care if my friends have gone away. How many, Chris? Minister Chris? How many? How many would say, I'm going to stand and worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, irrespective of what happens? I'm going to stand with Elder Shadrach. Today's Moses. I don't care I don't know if you guys like it or not. That's not my prerogative. My prerogative is to stay here and to stand with my leadership to the end and to build this culture of this house and say, I am Israel. So when my father looks at me and looks at you, says, this is an Israelite. Who is Nathaniel? Ah, as an Israelite indeed, huh? With no guile. That's a real Israelite. No bitterness, nothing, I don't know, these things inside that we love to harbor on to. keeping our soul and spirit and carry from one atonement to the next atonement, to another new year, to another baptism, all the way into your 90 and 9. I mean, you still carry the same thing. And I'm saying, no wonder your back is like this, you know. And you walk out, so, because all the burden you're carrying is, let it go. Be an Israelite. Understand what it means to be an Israelite. You don't get it yet? Oh, thank you. Only this side understood. Israelite, not Israel heavy. Israelite. I'm light, man. Thou makest my feet like hinds' feet. You run up the mountain, you no, not you, Heinz. You're the H-E-I-N-Z. Not Heinz feet. Do you understand? But this is what I'm trying to tell you. In those days, oh my God, the lowest of the people were made priests. That's where the rot deepens. First Kings, again, 12:31. Read it. And he made the lowest, the priest, lowest, I'll read it again. He made the priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi. You weren't part of it. And you're making them priests, not even Israel. Not even the right. You see, my God is about order and direction. Order. This is the order that I want it to be in. This is the structure that it must follow. And these are the rules, and these are the agreement. And this is how you become an Israel. This is how you're Israel. This is how I identify. I see you by doing these rules. Other than that, what are you? A Mormon? We don't discriminate about everybody else. I'm just using it as an example. But by your fruits, we will know who you are. Your fruits, your actions, your behavior, your structure. Where are you in the world? Where are you spiritually? I know a lot of people said, oh, I'm with the God of Israel spiritually, but really, it's so difficult to get there because you truly don't understand the name Israel. He gave us his name. Do you understand the name Israel? You see, he knows his own fruit. He knows his own children. He knows. He knows who's come out of the house of Israel. He knows who they are. And so that's why I'm going to keep it a little light because I don't want Elder Andrew to chastise me. He said, you're making it too heavy, Tyrone. Bring in the whips. I like whips. You're gonna get whipped into shape as an athlete, you know. Don't take it out of context. But you understand what I'm saying? Being an Israelite, be careful of the betrayal that happens within. Look at our fathers. Look at the history of the Israelites. Always betraying within. Other nations, they don't betray each other. They don't look upon their brethren and want to smite them. Moses defended 2 Israelites because he saw what they were doing to them. He came back to come and see how you're doing. Ah, look at you. You're the one. Are you going to do me like you did the Egyptian? Moses had to run. High knees. Up the Mount Sinai. Straight. I'm telling you what's happening. Listen, he ran. He didn't stop. Yeah, you guys think I'm joking. He did not stop. He ran into the wilderness. My technician is saying to me, so I must, is this okay? Must drop the mic. Lower? Am I okay? Thank you very much, Uncle Lennox. I have to let everybody know who you are. But understand that my God, he established the priesthood. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob established priesthood. He established order, and he chose Levi to be the priest of his nation. That's what he chose. Structure and obedience. But my friend and your friend, well, mainly you guys' friends, Jeroboam, he said, anyone will do. I'm going somewhere. Anybody will do. But why did he do this? You see, when the standards fall, the truth collapses. When your standards fall, the truth collapses. And when the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob's order is corrupted, it becomes because you replaced it. You replaced it with corruption. Then anyone comes out and says, I can speak for God. I can speak for God. That's what Jeroboam did. But why did he do this? Why? Not all Israel is Israel. It sounds like Israel. The feeling is like Israel. You even look like Israel, but you're not Israel. And I like it because it's a juicy subject and I had to cut a lot of things out because I had to cut it out. But Israel became the only name that Israel knew. They didn't know no other names. They didn't call them nothing else but Israel. That's it. So when they fractioned and they broke off to all different variations, they kept the name but not the nature of Israel. And that caused confusion. Call yourself something else. We understand the people that use our book. Who uses our book? You know who used our book, but it's an Israelite book. Please write your own book and call it whatever you like. And those that leave and become other things outside but not Israel, write your own Bible because you're living a different life. You are. Just like Jeroboam had the priest, or the lowest of the priests, and said, anybody will do, we're going to make everything great. What else did he do? I'm going to get there. But I want you to consider this. The greatest enemies of Israel were never outsiders. Do you agree or disagree? I can't hear you. Agreed? Many times betrayal came from who? Those who knew the law, the statutes, the commandments, the judgments, but they rejected it. That's Israel's greatest enemy from within. Let me name you a couple. Saul, for example, spared what God said to destroy because he wants friends. He wants to be popular. He wants everybody to think that he's a good guy, likable. Ahab married idolatry and did what? And led Israel to worship Baal. Do you understand? This is Israel that we're talking about, but they're not Israel. Do you understand? Judas, someone's friend, not mine. He walked with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's only begotten son, the Christ. Imagine that you're walking side by side, and you're going to betray him for 30 pieces of silver. 30 pieces of silver. I tried to calculate how much is that in today's terms. It was? I think it's less, a lot less. Elder Jerry said 300 million. That's a lot of money, man. I think all you will betray me for that. Huh? True or false? Hands up. He had two hands up. But you look at this and you think, again, all the kings, many of the kings, they did evil in the sight of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Hosea 5 and verse 7, it says, they have dealt treacherously against the Lord. Treacherously against the Lord. This is Israel. These are the ones I call, hey man, you're my buddy, you're my friend. That's why when I look out amongst the crowd, I look in the world and I say, wow, how many is Israel? And I say to Elder Andrew, I say, man, don't worry. It's good, man. I'm smiling. And I'm serious. I'm serious. You know why? There's more for me. You ever hear that? When people live, listen, if my dad left me 100 left us 100 million and they say to share between 9 and 1 go, 2 go, 3 go, hey man, that's more for me. I'm like, you really? 100 million divided by 9, that means I get to get, okay, okay, 10, okay, 10 mil, now 20, 30, what's going on? Hey guys, you can go. Okay, I'll open the door for you. Hey, it's okay, you go. Go, man. More for me. True, Dana. Dana smile. I'm telling you, it's okay, man. It's okay. Betray all you want. I love it. Betrayal always always begins with one thing. Can anybody think what it is? Pride. Someone said pride. What else? Plus selfishness. Compromise. Compromise. How could I work this deal? Still be here. So your mind starts wandering, start devising ways and how could I be deceptive? Then manipulation comes in, then all the rest comes in. Then before you know it, you're bowing down to Baal and you're coming here. You're making the sign of the cross and then you're coming here. It's true. You go and see the voodoo priest and then you come in, hey, peace, everyone, peace. Yeah. Oh boy, what a compromise. They said, I will give you $1 million. Tell us the secret of the altar. Tell us the secrets. Who would do that? Time cometh. Time cometh. Who will betray my God? But we have good news, guys. My God always reserves a remnant. No, you guys are sleepy, man. Thank you. Always has a remnant. And the remnant, and this is good because you just proved my point. There's few that clap, the remnant. That's all. I don't want a massive thing. No. You proved the point. The small, that's who he wants. Because you know why? There's quality in there. These are the ones that call themselves Israel and actually mean it. These are the ones that call themselves Israel and actually do his work. These are the ones that call themselves Israel, keeps the law, statutes, and commandments without fail. These are the ones that said, I don't care if Muma, because there's so much Jamaicans in here, and Pupa, holy put them inside of here. Mama, Papa, Dada, Granny. I don't care if they reject me, because I'm telling you, one of the hardest battles that you have is when you come into the nation and you used to do the Christmas, and all this stuff, and the Santa Claus and what's the one? I don't know, I can't remember them. Halloweens and the Valentine days. Oh, Valentine's is love. And I said, really? What kind of love is that? And now all of a sudden, you can no longer keep that. You can't. Now you have to separate yourself, just like our fathers did in those days, and pull away and say, I can't. I have to be. No, but you can still serve the God of Israel and just come to Christmas. You start compromising. No, but you're still an Israelite. Just come and sit down and sit on the table. How many of you did? None? Okay. Okay. Yes, no. How many of you this year, you're Israelite, you're born Israelite, you're baptized, everything, you went to Christmas and I'm still an Israelite, and I still can have some turkey. But my God has his remnant. And the remnant that will stay behind and say, you know, I won't do that. You know, when I gather and it's time to worship my God, I'm actually worshiping my God in spirit and in truth. Now, I want to understand something about the spirit and in truth. First of all, God is a spirit. That's number one. And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Now, if he's the spirit and the spirit of all spirits, he's in one place. He cannot separate and divide himself. I'm going to have one spirit here and another spirit here, and you can worship me in multiple functions. He said, my name, not names, shall be where? The pillar of the border. Oh, yes. In the house of Israel. When he sent his son. And then after that, the other comforter, and so on. There's a reason. There's one. He don't like all this multiple faction business. Confusion. It's just pure confusion. You worship the spirit, the greatest spirit in one place. But you can't worship the spirit without truth. And there's no truth without the spirit. But the spirit is in one place. So if the spirit is in one place, where am I going? It doesn't make no sense to take myself out and say, I'm going to be going. You know, kind of walk there. And I'm going and I'm going to worship my God, because that's what they say, right? Those that call themselves Israel. who are not Israel. I'm going to worship my God this way. I say to Elder Andor, I love it. I really like it. Do you know what? It's so exciting. Do you know why? Because now it brings me up onto another subject matter. Oh, yes. Where are they worshiping my God? And what did he make them? Elder stole my scripture as well this morning. My scriptures are all stolen. They're hijacked. I can't use all of them. But I'm going to make unto you a meeting place, we'll say. For political reasons, I'll say meeting place. A meeting place of Satan. That's what I'm going to make for them. You know where to find it. Revelations 2:9, Revelations 3:9. That's what it is. It's two-tier. They will do that because why? In the days of old, they erected again 2 golden calves. Who did that? Jeroboam. Why? So that they would not go to Jerusalem to worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They wouldn't go to the place where his name is. They wouldn't go to the spirit of truth where one spirit is, one truth is. No. Oh my God. Let me make the calf for them and make the lowest priests and make them all there. And so that they all stay here and they worship this false and dead God. And guess what happened? They came with the tambourine, they came with the drums, they came with the singing, and they felt, oh, this is so good. We're worshiping God. I wish I was there to kill them all. Yeah, I wish like Elijah was there, come and just destroy them. And move. Yes, Dana, I do mean it. Come down upon them and just swipe them because they profaned the name of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and reduced, as he said, the similitude to an ox. His image, they made an ox that eats grass. Wait, the glory of my God, the creator of the heavens and the earth and everything that dwells therein, who called Israel by his name and made 12 sons from this man's loins and made a great nation, even as he promised to Abraham, that you have a great nation, multitude of people. Oh my God. This God that did this, that broke up the earth because all you sinned against him and was worshiping many other things, and he only saved me and some other people in the boat with Elder Andor and the older council. All you guys had sinned. I'm gonna break up the earth and drown it for 40 days and 40 nights, up and bottom. And then I'm gonna heal the land. I'm gonna heal it. The water's gonna subside. The birds will sing again. The earth will yield like its fruit. Everything will come back. I'm going to repopulate the earth. I'm going to make it nice. And then we did the most sinful things again. Worshipping other gods. It's just in the blood, isn't it? Something in the blood. And it's carrying from one person to the other, and that spirit is just transferring. But how many of you are fully conscious and aware of what's in you? Or are you just going by default? You know, default, you're just mechanical. Just default, it's default. Okay, yeah, I know because I was born in Israel. Yeah, I know because my mom comes, my dad comes. Oh, it sounds good. Oh, this is a great family. No, but how do you know? What do you know? Do you know you are an Israelite? Or is the golden calf so sweet you can still taste it? Even now, you can taste, sometimes you drink from like yesterday. So like, it's still there. Sweet to your lips. The sweet taste of iniquity. Tastes good, huh? It tastes bad. Oh, thank you, Dana. It tastes nasty. And that's what separates you from this is one not called Israel or this Israel. The real Israelite that says, I'm going to stand no matter what comes, no matter how many calves come my way, that beckon me and say, this is the God of Israel. This is where the God of Israel is. You know where the God of Israel is. That spirit inside of you that rejected the golden calf, keep it. Your fathers drank a lot of it. They had to drink it. And that's in them today, and it's filtered, it's filtered, it's filtered, it's filtered. Now all those that drink it, where are they today? Some of them are still struggling. Still struggling. Oh, yeah. Be honest, it's in you. It's struggling. You're fighting it. Fight it. Don't let it overwhelm you. Because the calf always wants to win. It is a direct opposition to my God. So, not all Israel is Israel. But the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob knows his own, and he knows who is. That's important. And you have the opportunity to keep yourself going as an Israelite by keeping the law, statutes, and judgments at the foundation. Don't tell me you want to go to a knockoff God. You know, people have knockoff gods, you know. I don't understand. Like, how do you go to a knockoff God, a counterfeit God? It's crazy. You go to a counterfeit God. Wait. This don't even make no sense. I come to the main headquarters, to the root. I come to the main part, right? You give me the order and order council. Feed me the best lamb ever. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. You feed me. You nourish my soul and my spirit. You beat me up because I needed chastisement. Good. Then you straighten me back out again. You brought my back. And then you make it strong again. You add muscles onto me, spiritual. And you get my feet strong that they're planted. They're planted. All these things. You give me a suit to wear because the ones I had was too tight. And all these things. Oh boy, I couldn't breathe. Now I can breathe a little. You give me all of this greatness. You gave me the name of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You gave me his spirit. Think about this. You shared his spirit, let me say. You shared the spirit, the Holy Spirit, the comforter, which can only be with our elder shadow in this nation. Because none of you would know. None of us would know about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob if the comforter was not here. Impossible. That's impossible. Now, you want to tell me that I should put back on an extremely tight suit, right? I can't breathe. Right? Now you're telling me I've got to eat a lamb that I don't know if it's male, female, if it was bleeding or what, I don't know. Then you're telling me I must come to a weird function and a gathering with things that look like the vision our elder saw, the flag, the coat of arms, the colors of Israel, all these wonderful things. You're telling me I should come to a second-hand thrift store. Well, you have a second-hand store, then you have a thrift store. Then they're telling me that, come Tyrone, come, look, we can look after you. The shoes all bust up. About 55 people worn the same shoe. The clothes is, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy? Me? You? Think about what you're doing. You're taking your finery. You're in the house firsthand, Elder Yvonne. Firsthand, you're getting this information. Firsthand, you're getting the spirit of truth. How do you, it doesn't make sense to go outside of that for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th hand. It don't make no information, no sense. Please explain to me, I don't understand. I'm a fisherman. You know, fishermen are not that smart. But this is what I'm trying to explain. The house of Israel, the house of Israel, the meeting place, because that's what the house is, you meet there. The family of Israel, the gathering of Israel. It's one place. It's one place. I can't, if I go out this way, I'm not Israel. If I go this way, I'm not Israel. I can't be. I bear the name, but not the nature. You understand me? I, I look like Israel. I'm quacking like Israel, but I'm not Israel because I'm not in Israel. I'm not in the house. The spirit doesn't identify with me anymore. It will not. It can't. Because it's made its vow and its promise along this route, not that route. And he said he will separate the goats from the sheep. So again, I smile. And I smile big when I see what happens. I'm like, oh, we are in the right place. Oh my gosh, we are. I'm like, oh, this is good. As long as I'm right here, I'm staying here. I'm the sheep. I'm staying right here. And so are you, hopefully. But that's what it is. You know where you are. Just look, open your eyes. See all of the things, what's going on around you. That will make you think, oh man, I'm in the right place. I have to be. I have to be. Look at what's happened. My God is not, he's an ancient of days. He does everything exactly the same. He's always separated. He has. You over there, these are the ones I want. You over there, I don't want you, Saul, I want David. I don't want you, Esau, I want Jacob. Jacob, no longer Jacob, now you're Israel. Separation. Always. The Christ came. No one even know he was there. They didn't even know he was there. The Samaria woman at the well. Oh my gosh, look at her. What did she say? Our Father. So who was she? One though, but what was her? But what was she known as? Sumerian. So not all Israel is Israel. Not all Israel is Israel. Just by that alone, you should understand. If you're not in the house with Israel, you are not an Israelite. This is the root, this is the foundation. This is where his name is. We would never know about anything of life had it not been for the obedience of our Shadrach and the spirit of truth. It has to be that way. Don't you understand? It's so clear and simple. It's not pride, not ego. Because pride, the spirit can't work with someone that's puffed up. Read the scriptures. It cannot work with anybody who has a hardened heart or puffed up heart. The spirit can't work. It can't. That's not his job. He has to work as someone who can deliver the message and can take the whips and can take. Look at Jeremiah. Who here can walk around naked to bear witness to the people? Who? Not one. Read the scripture. That's what you had to do. Who had to? Oh my gosh. Do you know what you had to do? Do you know what those guys had to go through to talk to stubborn and stiff-necked people? Has a leopard changed its spots? No, but Israel, you're so quick to change gods. Very quick. And call it the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That should be forbidden. It should be a law against laws. You cannot. You will worship all other gods and call them my God's name. Counterfeit. I don't know how to call them counterfeit. These guys probably buy fake DVDs and all this stuff, so they're just used to that kind of a lifestyle. Just counterfeiting everything. Now you're counterfeiting gods. Wow. Not all Israel is Israel. 2 Timothy 2:19. The Lord my God knoweth them that are his. The Lord knoweth them that are his. Do you understand that? Like, you're going to take this very personal. Again, we're talking about not all Israel is Israel. And looking deep within yourself and saying, thank you, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that I know who my God is. I know where the pillar of the border is. I know how to face Jerusalem. I know Elder Shadrach. I know the leadership. I know who my God is. And I'm rooted in the nation and I can't be moved. Because you know why I can't be moved? Because I stand in truth and I serve who? The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in spirit and in truth. And when I put on my robe, my gown, and all the hairs on my head is standing up and I can't almost breathe just now. Do you understand? I have hair, trust me. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Don't you worry. I'm going to prove it. Actually, I proved it a couple, and all you guys online, you all know I got hair. Don't even try it. Listen, I proved it. Look at the pictures back in the day, like just 2 years ago. Two years ago, even. 2 years, okay. Even 3 months ago, I put hair. I let it grow. Thank you. You saw. That's why I like Karen. There's always a witness. Thank you. Thank you so much. Karen, what are you saying? He didn't have hair? I have hair. Thank you very much. I have here. Amen. Thank you very much. Amen. The end. But this is what I want to say. You cannot, again, this is important. With Israel, not all Israel is Israel. Check this. You cannot fake the covenant. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? You see, if you're Israel, you can't fake it. If you're not Israel, yes, you can. You're faking because the covenant's not with you. It can't be because you can't be Abraham's children. Do you know why? Or you are, but disobedient and not of this fold. You cannot fake covenant and the covenant made with our God. You cannot inherit righteousness by proximity. So because, I'm here, I'm a righteous man, I'm just here, just chilling and everything is good. And your heart is far from the God of Israel. Far from the God of Israel. You're just waiting to plot your move and so on. You just, just gathering information. I'm going to fake my righteousness because I'm here. Doesn't work. Again, who is Israel and who is not? And one of the big ones, you can't replace obedience with tradition. You can't replace obedience with tradition, familiarity. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob said, this is where my name is. This, my name, the pillar at the border. Obey, only obey my voice. Hear ye him, the servant of the Lord. Yeah, and you will hear it because the spirit in you was taught to your spirit. Understand, my sheep hears my voice. What is it? The voice of Jesus? You hearing Jesus' voice? No. There's a spirit to spirit connection. I hear something in the voice of that man or the voice of that woman. There's a spirit speaking to me. I hear that. Why is it so familiar? My sheep hear my voice. They know me and they follow me. You can't follow him elsewhere. It is here. Do you know what when I was reading the scriptures, I had to make notes because it was just too much. Old Andrew knows, the Freddie, these guys, they all know, man. Sometimes you're at home, I'm trying to sleep, and it's not happening. And the information is coming in here and here and here. I toss this side, I toss that side, you toss that, you can't sleep. You wake up in the morning, you sit on the bed, you can't sleep. It's 3 a.m. Why? You can't sleep. You go back to bed, you wake up in the morning, you get up, it's 3:03. What's going on? It's like, which guy? This guy's funny. But it's true. You wake up in the morning, or I just don't sleep at all. I'm like, what's too much? It's too much information. I can't sleep. I go look in the mirror. I said, my eyes are going to be bagged up bad. I'm like, I'm going to look finished tomorrow. And you just can't do it. But the information is coming. It's so much. And then you come to the morning and you're like, Elder took all the scriptures. What am I going to do? I was whispering to Officer Charmaine. It's me. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? It's reading that. I can't read that. I can't do that. Then Elvis comes up and he's saying something. I'm like, you guys just took everything. I said, wonderful. This is good. This is when you know you are Israel because there's one spirit and he connects and speaks through from the top down. Do you understand? From the top down. That's the order of things. And that is what you have to cleave to. I don't care if you're holding on with a life support machine. Listen, let me tell you something. There's some people holding on to life with a life support machine. They're walking with that thing. I'm thinking, they're walking, boy, and they're holding on to life. They're holding on. Life. How is it you don't hold on to this doctrine of truth in this place for your dear life? How? Hold on to it until you're finished and said, I can sleep. Oh, thank you, God of Israel, with my fathers. I did all what you said to me to do. I've done everything. That should be a prayer for, well, it's mine. Did I do everything in my 99 or 100 years? I don't know how many years I have, or however long. Many moons of Elder Sophie said, did I do everything? Did I? Did I leave something out? Did I miss something? Was I obedient to the end? Was I? The God of Israel, when I read, he's not impressed by bloodlines, names, titles, and all these things. Oh, because he's a priest, I'm going to look after him. He killed Aaron's sons who were priests because they didn't, they gone, what are you doing? You're lighting strange light. 250 princes, men of renown, thought they can light a censer. Who do you think you are? You must be joking. Dave from Korah, the minister of the God of Israel. What? Unto Moses, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to open up. I'm going to kill it. He's not impressed by these things. The people rise at themselves. We know what of this Moses. Let's build us gods and strip naked and have a great time. And they're worshiping the golden calf. You know, I'm feeling good. Oh, I'm feeling close to the. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. You're feeling it. You're feeling the devil. That's what you're feeling. It's true because it's hot, as you say. So, and that is it. That's what you're feeling. The heat of comfortability is for fools. That's what it is. I feel it's a feeling for fools, emotionally led, not spiritually led, not doctrine led, and most of all, not in spirit and in truth. The truth will make you free. You cannot worship my God outside of these walls and say, I'm an Israelite. You can't. It's impossible. We round up and we come now to the very end. The message was supposed to be very uncomfortable, but Elder Andrew told me not to do that, right? It was supposed to be very uncomfortable, right? Also, all my scriptures were kind of hijacked, but that's okay. But when we come into this truth and we understand who the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is, it's not about hatred. It's about identity being restored. That's what it's about. The real identity being restored. And above that, I would say it is about the covenant of our God between Abraham, him and Abraham, to be remembered. Because every uncircumcised man you will know cannot sit with his people. You are an outcast. Remember the covenant. Jeroboam was more for convenience. He didn't remember. He didn't remember our God's commandment at all. But in the end of all that's being said and done, when I read the scriptures, even when you read in Revelations 14:12, there's only one Israel that remains. There's only one. Many can call themselves many different Israels, but one Israel, this house of Israel, remains. Only one. So here are they. This is what we want to hear from the Christ. Here are they that kept the commandments of God and faith of Christ. He says Jesus, but we know it's Christ. That's what I want. That's what we want to hear. That's the presentation. There, look, here is Orlando, thy son. Here is Elder Freddie, Elder Castrilli. Look. All of them. And there's our Elder Shadrach. We kept the commandments of our God. And that will make you Israel. That's what it is. Well, I can't go further now because my time has been exhausted. I butchered it as much as I could. I hope you guys laughed a little bit because I was coming with wrath. Okay. Thank you very much, Elder Castrilli. Peace, everyone. Peace.